Here's Mr. Herman back with another video. This time we're going to be talking about drawing a graph and making that graph based on the data in the table, and then answering some questions about that graph, kind of like what we did today in class. Today is Friday, January 30th. So this video should be posted by Monday, and you can then see an example of a problem like we did in class. So we'll start off with the first thing, which is graph the data in the coordinate plane. Let's start with that, A. So based on graphing the data in the coordinate plane, well, it looks like we're going to take in cost. Remember, dollars or time always goes on top, and we talk about the constant of proportionality. We're talking about y divided by x. So that means this has to be y, and x is going to be miles driven. So based on this, let's start labeling this off. And it seems like I probably could skip a few spaces here. Let's see, go up to 40 maybe. So go over maybe, let's see, 4 or 5 of these, and go 10. And then count 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 30, and the last would be 40. Fits in nicely with a 38. And then from there, let's get, what is that? That's miles driven. Okay, from there we go to the total cost. So on the side we'll write total cost. Kind of hard to write sideways. Kind of get it in there. And for this, let's see, we should probably go by, I don't know, by 5, so I'll go by 10, skipping a space. So 10, this is in dollars, of course, we should put that. 20, 30, and so on. Make sure you go by equal intervals, and you don't skip any spaces, and you do not have any breaks in your graph. Well, let's start graphing it now. So let's see what we got here. We got 15 miles driven is 25.50. So 15 miles driven. 15 is going to be right in the middle of 10 and 20. And the 25.50 is right here, roughly, just past 25. So there's our first point there. Then I got 27 and 45.90. So 27, 22, 24, 26, 28. 27 is right here. And what's the amount? 45.90. So right past 45, or about there, roughly, is that one. And the last one's 38, which would be 32, 34, 36, 38. So that's the second line from the end. And 64.60 is just under 65, so about there. Straight edge to draw a line. Let's draw a line there. That's part of the graphing process. It looks like it makes a pretty straight line there. A little off on my points, but it should go right to the origin. It's a little off. My graph's a little off. It's close, though. Now it wants to find the constant of proportionality. Remember, that's what the y over x is. So we're going to take each of these y's, which is the total costs, and divide it by the miles driven. You can do this in terms of fractions, or you can do it with decimals. It doesn't make a difference. It's up to you. So I divide in, let's see, put the decimal up, goes in 1 time. 15 gives me 10. Bring down the 5. And that gives me 7. Goes in 7 times. That's going to be 105. So the first one, the constant of proportionality, is 1.7. It should be the same for all. We got to check them all. I do expect you to show all that work. We have to show that to prove that it is the same. So the next one is 45.90 divided by 27. Goes in 1 time. That's 27. Subtract. Get 18. Bring down the 9. 7 times, let's make sure it's the same, 140 and 49. That's 189. There we go. 1.7 for that one, too. All right, the next one is going to be 64.60. See if I can squeeze up it over here. 64.60 or 64.6, well, it's the same thing. Divided by 38. 38 goes in 1 time. You got 38. You subtract. You got how many times is subtract there? 14 minus 8 is 6. 5 minus 3 is 2. 26. Bring a 6 down. Let's hope that 7 times 38 is 266. So 7 times 210, 56. Yep, it sure is. So 7 is 266. So the constant of proportionality, which is B, is 1.7. So the next question asks the question about write the equation that relates the cost in miles the miles X to the cost Y? Well, that's going to be, the equation for C is going to be Y equals, or the cost is equal to 1.7, our constant of proportionality, times the number of miles driven. So that's the equation. Then the next question says, how many miles have you driven if the total cost is $129.20? Well, cost, if you remember, is Y. So we put Y for D. We'll put Y right in place of this. Put in 129.20 equals 1.7x, which means I got to divide both sides by 1.7. So I got to divide 129.20 by 1.7. So I got to move those decimals over 1, which gives me 17 dividing into 1292. Well, 0.0. We don't need the 0 though, I guess, really. So decimals here in case I need it. So let's see how many times 17 goes into 1. Let's see, not 12, not 129 goes into though. I'm going to say 7. Let's see, let's try 6, 5. 7 would be 7 times 17. What would that be? 49 plus 70. That's that'd be 119, wouldn't it? Yeah, that looks pretty good. So let's go with 7. 7 would be 119. Oh, sorry, I put that in the wrong place. 119. Subtract and you get 10. Bring it down to 2. It's not going to work 7 times. How about 6? 17 times 6 would be 60 plus 42. That's exactly it. 76, 102. So they went 76 miles because it costs us $129.20. We can't actually check that this graph is not big enough to check it. It goes out too far. But if we had a larger graph and made more space, we'd be able to actually check that point. All right.